What is up, y'all? Today, I'm gonna teach you how to do this. What is up, everyone? So if you didn't catch it, I'm gonna be making a tutorial on how you can insta-kill swashbucklers with bar stools by just tossing it at them. So normally, if you're not too familiar with Isle of the Lost Skulls, what you gotta do, you gotta block or parry the attacks first, and then you smash this thing on their head. But a good speedrunning tactic, and a tactic in general, is to just toss the stool at them and insta-kill them. Oh, you think you're tough? Ha! Just want to let you guys know beforehand that this only works with the stool. If you try it out with some other weapons, what's going to happen, it's going to kind of like do some weird parry attack thing. But if you want to insta-kill them, you have to use the bar stool because the bar stool will one-shot any of them. So let's get right into the tutorial. Let's not waste any time. So what you want to do right here, you see these two bar stools here? Let's actually take a look at the bar stools here. So as you can see, the bar stool, there's three main contact points with the bar stool. There's the head, there's the main body, and then there's the feet of the stool. So those are the three main contact points that you want to try to hit the swashbuckler with. For me personally, always it's either the feet or the main body. That's always worked the best for me. The head, not so much. So when you're actually gripping the bar stool, you can see that you're holding it by this leg right here. So in perspective, the best way to kill it is with the head of the stool. But that sometimes might not work, and it sometimes does glitch out a little bit, and it might not insta-kill it. It might just, parry it again. So before we get started, how do we actually do this? It's very simple. You literally just throw the stool at the swashbuckler at a strange angle, and you will one-shot it. There really isn't too much complicated things about it. Yeah, it's great for speedrunning. It's great for, showing off to your friends. It's just fun. It's a fun thing. So, as I said, there's three main contact points. The head, there's the main body, and then there's also the feet of the stool. Oh, you think you're tough, huh? So now that you kind of understand what it's supposed to be like and where you're supposed to kind of hit the swashbuckler, I'm going to switch over to POV real quick, and I'm going to let you guys see how I do it. Okay, now that we're in first person mode, here's my my stools, here's my spawning button. There's a few tactics that I would use to kill these swashbucklers. As you just saw there, I went overhand and killed it. So there's three main ways that I would do it. First one is overhand, second one is underhand, and the third one is kind of like a whip to the side. It'll get a lot of spin. Now, there's benefits for all three of these techniques. Let's get started in order. So the first one, when you go over the head, that's pretty much the best one, in my opinion. It's the easiest one. It's always, if you're in a perfect situation, this is the one you want to use. It pretty much never misses, and you can literally hit it wherever on the stool. You can hit, the top of the stool, the bottom of the stool, doesn't matter. Oh, what the? That was cursed. Do make sure to use a little bit of power in your swings, just so you don't, let it bounce off its head. If you don't throw hard enough, it might look like that. It'll just bounce off. But yeah, that's the main technique. Honestly, if you're familiar with that, that was cursed. Honestly, if you're familiar with that, that's pretty much the best way to do it, in my opinion. If you're in a perfect situation, you're playing Isle, you're doing great. You just got a bar stool, and you got plenty of room in front of you. Just bash them in the head like that. Saves you a lot of time when speedrunning. You just bash them in the head and go. So the second technique I use is where I go underhand. The benefits of this one is that it goes really far usually, but on the downside, it's not very accurate. You can see sometimes it kind of just launches to the side a little bit. So if you're really far away, you can probably, that was a lucky shot right there, right? But if you miss, you'll get a clumsy shot like that. So the only time where I would really use underhand is if they're really far away, you got to get rid of the bar stool, or if there's just some kind of emergency situation, you're playing Isle, you got to just go underhand. I find that it doesn't spin as much. When you go overhand, it'll spin a lot like that. When you go underhand, it kind of just does a 180, something like that. So those are the first two techniques, the overhand and the underhand. Now, this third technique, I would only use in extremely emergency situations. That's kind of the reason of this third technique, is where I go kind of to the side, or just fling it sideways like a ninja star. I find that I only use this situation when the swashbuckler is extremely close, and I'm about to die, and I can't pay or something. Just kind of whip it at them like that, as hard as you can. So the main premise of this technique is to just go as hard as you can. Don't worry about the accuracy, and just get the skeleton out of the way. Literally just like that. Because doing that gives you a lot of power, but it doesn't go very far or accurate. It just hits the skeleton. So those are the three techniques. There's the overhand, there's the underhand, and then there's this weird sideways one that I would never use because it's too risky. And yeah, once you get good at it, you can just, play around with it, do some cool trick shots. And honestly, it just looks super cool. You're just, And if all comes down, worst comes to worst, just parry the guy. It's really not that big of a deal. Just parry the guy. Alright, before we end the video, I'm going to quickly show you guys how I might use this in a real Isle of Lost Skulls game. So, let's go to Isle. Whee! Now, here we go. Another thing you can do is just kind of glitch this in. When the timer hits 0, just put it up behind your back and you get another stool. So in the first level, you actually get 2 stools, which is great. And I like to use these 2 stools to kill those 2 right there. So let's see if I can, the ceiling's pretty low, so keep that in mind. You can just kind of, and then, yeah. And sometimes if I only have 1 stool, I like to hold like a sword out or something for emergencies in case, you know, it doesn't do what I tell it to do. We got a stool right here. Whoa-pow! Whoa! See? That's why you always gotta have the sword out. Let's take these guys out. Oh, that was weird. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Alright, so we got a few bar stools here. We're gonna stack these up here. Try to take as many of these guys out. Hey, what's up, buddy? Whoa-pow! Whoa-pow! Whoa! No, no, no! Whoa-pow! See, that's why I would not use the 3rd method. See if I can take this guy out. Crap! And yeah, guys, that'll do it for this video. Remember, this is a super quick tutorial on how to whip things at the swashbucklers. It's a super fun thing to do. I highly suggest you learn how to do it, especially if you want to get started with the grinding aisle. I hope you guys enjoyed this short tutorial. And yeah, remember to do the subscribe. Yeah, remember click subscribe down there. And yeah, I will see you guys later.